YouTube. So I just want to make this video. I guess it's a response video, you know, and I'm basically going to make a response video to a guy who I don't even think is subbed to me, but I'm going to go ahead and make this one anyway, to Daveshadenuff187. I think that's it. Did I say it wrong? I know I got the first part right. I don't know what the numbers at the end. But anyway, he had the whole video, and I'll leave a link in the description here about the whole Nintendo playing it safe thing based on, he's talking about how the hardware goes, you know, because like the reason, you know, playing safe because they're not putting stuff, they're not as multimedia focused on the Wii U, or the Wii U, and probably the Wii back then, as Xbox and PlayStation are. Like Microsoft and Sony are, you know, basically because they got like all these features where it's like, you know, like, oh, like PS4 and Xbox One are like multimedia systems, and because of this, because there's so much in there keeping it multimedia, that they kind of end up breaking down more, and he feels that Nintendo's leaving the stuff out so the system doesn't break out, the system doesn't break down or anything, and it's holding them back. Because, you know, they're not putting all these multimedia features so the system doesn't break down. So basically, what I'm saying is, like, the problem I think that's going on here is like PlayStation and Xbox One is like media first, gaming second. As far as Nintendo goes, gaming first and media second. Okay, so to keep that in mind what I said. Media first, gaming second. Does nobody see this as a problem? Because it's a huge problem. Because they're putting all this multimedia stuff in there, it might cause the systems to break down, and so that's a compromise we have to make. It's like, oh yeah, Sony and Microsoft, they got all these multimedia features, and the system, that's probably what causes the system to break down, but it's okay. No! I mean, I'm all for, if they want to put all these multimedia systems, multimedia devices into the system, go right the fuck ahead. But do it right. Don't half-ass it just so you can get it out there. And I think that's the thing that a lot of people aren't focusing on, is that, and I'm saying he brought up, I'm not saying he didn't bring up a bad point, he brought up a very good point, that, you know, that yes, because of all the multimedia stuff, it might cause the hard drives to crash or burn or whatever, but that's a problem. Alright, that's not good. That's not a good thing, and I think that's the part that he kind of didn't talk about, and, you know, when other people are responding to him, they're ignoring that part. You know, I don't really care what he said about other things. He said a lot of other things in the video about how Zelda and Mario are the same, and I'm not gonna lie and say, oh, it's different. He is right on that. And yeah, the whole Nintendo playing safe because they're putting gaming ahead of multimedia, and they're being punished for that. That's a bad sign. Alright, what does that say about a lot of gamers when they're okay with a system that could break down on them as long as it brings them a bunch of features? Guys, that's not good. Okay, that's a very bad thing. If they're going to put all the system in, they need to make sure it all works 100% on everything. Not 50, not 75. Don't half-ass this shit. If you're going to put all this in there, make sure it works right, and make sure that when you plop, when these system companies expect me to plop down $300, $400, $500 for their system, I want it to last for a good number of years. Not have the possibility over my shoulder of these systems crashing and burning on me. And I don't want, I have an Xbox One, you know, this multimedia system that can play games if it wants to, but, you know, I don't want it to die out in like 2 or 3 years and then like, oh, well, I guess I'll have to put down another $400 for another one. No! I don't want that. I want this damn thing to last for like the 10 years that Microsoft says it's gonna last. Oh, we're on a 10-year program with this system. Well, I want my system to last that 10 years and not die out within, you know, a couple of years and maybe have to go buy another one. Because maybe some people have the money to plot down for a new system whenever they fucking feel like it. I don't. That's just the reality I live in. If you want to talk about reality, by the way. It's like, you know, that's just the reality that I find, and a lot of other people find themselves in. So if they're putting down their money for this 10-year commitment, from the company. I want this 10-year commitment for my system, and so do these people. Alright, so the fact that it might crash because all the multimedia stuff in it is a bad way to look at it. And if Nintendo is going to go this route with the next system, which I don't know if it will or won't, you know, I want to make sure that they're doing the same thing. Don't half-ass this shit. I want 100% from both sides, from both the gaming and the multimedia, and I want to make sure that they build a system that can handle it. Alright, and I know people are like, well, if they do that, it's going to cost way more money. Well, then what do you want? I mean, seriously, if you're either going to get a cheaper system with half-ass bullshit that could die on you, or you can spend like $500–600 for a system and get your money's worth. Now, I'm not saying I want $600–700 systems either. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous. But if you're going to go that route, doing it like this, it's just going to end badly. Okay? So it's not good that these multimedia things are in there could cause the system to die. Alright? That's bad. We don't want that. You don't want that. That's not good. It's a very bad comparison. I mean, like I said, man, I'm with you on the whole Nintendo needs their party. Nintendo needs to make changes to like how they approach gamers and stuff like that. I mean, solidarity and all that, alright? I'm behind you on that like 100%. But wanting them to put these features at the fact that it could cause a system to crash and die is not good. And let me tell you something right now, if Nintendo did this, if it doesn't matter how powerful Nintendo makes their next system, if they put these features in there and it causes the system to die, do you know what's going to happen? People are going to be like, oh, see, Nintendo's trash. Their systems can't handle this. Meanwhile, they bought like 2 or 3 PS3s, 4 or 5 Xbox 360s, possibly 2 or 3 PS4s, and 3 or 4 Xbox Ones, where the same thing happened, but nobody's pointing the finger because it's not Nintendo. So when Nintendo fucks up, you know, oh, Nintendo, oh, Nintendo's bad, see, Nintendo's ruining the industry. Meanwhile, at the same time, the same shit's been happening with the Xboxes and the PS and the PlayStations, and nobody's saying a word because it's them, and it's like, oh, okay, it's fine, you know, it's just how it is, because all these systems are in there, it's too much for it to handle, and this might happen, and no, that is bad. So if they're going to do this, Nintendo or PlayStation or Xbox or whatever system, or whatever company decides they're going to make a console, do it 100% or don't do it at all.